Welcome everyone, this is Evelyn. It's 4:09 on the clock, and I've several of my messages of the day for you, as well as the abbreviated read on the table. It's not my 7-deck, it's a 2-deck read, just with the SIRIAN STARSEED deck and the Rider-Waite Mini. So let's go ahead and take a few deep breaths first. If you don't want to, you can pass right by here. Go ahead and take a breath. Another deep breath. And one more deep breath. As the owl is coming in, we're calling in Sophia, Christ, and Saint Germain as well, again today. And I have a few extra cards when I get to this read that aren't on the table, which I'll show you when we get there. So I have a hair here. It doesn't want to leave. It's stuck. That's weird. What are you stuck on? Oh well. That's my DNA, you guys. And Teddy's. All right, so let's get going with this. We're going to roll the die and get right into the reads. And today's the 15th of May, May 15, and all of these reads will be from the 13th to the 15th. Actually, the one on the table I laid down the evening of the 12th, so the 12th to the 15th we'll say. All right, so May 15, 2023 for the Twin Flames. And I'll roll that one again, but I have 11 and 2, which are both 2 numbers. We over here have the Scorpio energy, which is still in the South Node. And here we have Saturn coming up as well, which is Capricorn. And then the 2 that's facing you is the High Priestess, which also for me is Pisces energy, which would start in February as well. And the 11 came up of Justice as well, but let's give it another little die. Let's roll up. The 2 came up again facing you, but we have the 1 on top. So again, the masculine and the feminine, and the 11 of 1 and 2 again. So it's really a combination of the 1 and 2 that are coming up here. So let's leave that here with the 1 facing you. So that could be also the Magician energy with Gemini. Sometimes that comes up as Virgo as well. The 2 of the High Priestess and Pisces, Capricorn and Scorpio with Saturn here, the Taskmaster. And Scorpio, again, letting go the Scorpio traits that are no longer serving you, letting them go in that final flush towards the end of the shift as the nodes change position, July 18th. I'm noticing too that both the shape of the Scorpio symbol is kind of veering off into a connection, and so is the Capricorn energy of Saturn. Scorpio and Capricorn. There may be a connection there, but we have Pisces here too, but the masculine and the feminine coming up here together. That aggressive energy of Mars and the changing of the guards for the nodes, with Taurus changing into Aries, the budding of the horns was coming up, but that energy is starting to fade away now, but it was coming up all this past week, and it may be morphing into something else. So let's get right into this, see what comes up. Let's put these bowls over to the side. There we go. And okay. So this is just a quickie message I did prior to the significant read I did first, but this is just the tea leaves being pulled. And there are two halves of the deck because there's a lot of cards. Okay, so again, all my reads, the left is the underlying energies. I usually pull out 3 cards unless more than 3 come out together. And then the cards at the end are more cards that want to come out separately that I also incorporate as numerology and in the culmination of the message from that line. And that'll apply to all of the cards I pull here and show you. And the whale's been coming up a lot this week too, over and over again. There's certain strings that keep coming up over and over again, and I'll let you know as they remind me in my messages here. So with this message, the tea leaves, this was done at 9/11 on the 13th. The underlying energy was the whale and the bowl. And again, the energy of worrying about nothing. With your cup full, you are the whale after all. And the bowl fell over with the pineapple, pear, apple, and banana flowers on top. So again, this fruit and flower type of really healthy energy in your basket, but falling over. And that could be lapsing in something that you've been trying to do in a more healthy way. At 9:22 is the Hermit and the 22 the Fool. The underlying energy of the dark man in a chain of events, and that can just be someone who's dark colored hair or dark skinned. A dark man in a chain of events, the dog close up with pleasure with a close friend, love and deep affection, disappointment in a friend or lover, fluted success of the whale with worrying over nothing. The first card that came out here, or the cards that came out, were the axe, the tear, the flag, the cat, and the key. The whale perceiving forces against them with great personal sorrow. Do not be tempted to lower your standards with the two-faced friend, which may be the key to actually solving your problem. Pointing with the arrow to discord among family or friends, and the underlying energy of the wall, the Great Wall of China, and those walls have been coming up a lot too. There's one of the Great Wall of China, and like the other wall comes up as Berlin. But the wall of misunderstanding, the Great Wall of China that is the whale, worrying for no reason, with the rooster, arrogant and boastful, and you should not cross them. The broken wish is not granted, dishing tea with same-sex friend or Aries friend about their abundance or retirement coming up. And the next card was the cards were the bread, the broom, and the career, with prosperity, new home, with new attitude about career, slicing or cutting bread, clearing inside and out, raising the flag in surrender and getting to work. A two-faced friend could be the house with 2 keys, right, has 2 faces. The cat may be the key to finding the mouse, and this Trojan horse was coming up as the energy, right? So the cat chasing the mouse may actually be the key, right, to where the mouse is. And again, there's this energy of catching something with something they love and something they hate. And nothing like a common enemy to bring friends or family back together. So there's that energy of bringing in a third party to help the two of you who are not getting along. To flush out the unwanted, use the opposite to bring to the middle. With honey badges who get the hive, with spiders and robber flies, skunks and bears, wasps and birds, get the bird feeder front and back. Or there's also this energy of things that will deter the bees without killing them, you know, things like cinnamon and vinegar. And something else that came up was in an aluminum tin, put cucumber peels, which I haven't tried out yet, but I will, and I'll let you know about that. I did put some vinegar and cinnamon out, but it didn't necessarily deter the bees. Put out a fruit bowl, make bread and sweep, or clear or clean off your desk, or perhaps a plant. The bell and the broken bridge with announcement or ring, the Liberty Bell or church bells, ringing or broken bridge without success to a problem. There's this October warning bell. Pay attention to your work. In October, November time period has been coming up a lot. Pay attention to your work. Make your desk nice and clean out your house, or go back to the drawing board about something that you worked on before. And again, through October, And again, people may be looking for work. Something else that came up for bees was dryer sheets, lemongrass. Of course, citronella candles may be helpful as well. There was a recipe that came up for 6 tablespoons of witch hazel, 5 to 10 drops each of peppermint oil and tea tree oil. So the first big read that came up here is this one here. So we have the Ascension deck at the top. Sorry about all the fluff on my phone. It's not dirt. And there's my another hair. What's with hair today? So there's a message about hair or shedding skin, because that's been coming up too. So we have the Ascension deck at the top. We have the Past Life deck, and then the Metatron deck, the tea leaves, and then my half deck of Rider-Waite. I'm going to pull it in a little bit so you can see the details better. I'm going to go back to the one with the light reflecting on it there. And which one is that? That one is the Cosmic Heart. I am the Cosmic Heart. So just remember there was significance on that. And it looks like the violet flame. So again, Saint Germain coming in again. So at 10:17 to 10:24, I pulled out all these cards. 17 is the Star, and 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and then ending at 10:24 is the Queen of Wands, but also 24 is Omega, and can be connected to the Pleiades as well, and the 24 set, the etheric set of chromosomes. So they were at 10, 17, 18. Metatron was 19. The first tea leaves was 10:19 as well, and then the second tea leaves was 10:20, and the half deck 10:24. The cards at the end of each row I use for numbers, and the numbers that came up from those cards was 111311, and then 11243312. So to co-create social urgency, align with the Queen of Wands, the Omega, which is Om, and Ega, which is the feminine ego, and Christ consciousness of the hanging man, or wisdom of Sophia, justice, death, and justice aligning with the Queen of Wands and Christ hanging out, leaping to the bookends or the polarities, with 3 in the middle, or in the Holy Spirit, the Mother, and the leap to wisdom of the 43 of coming together in joy with the Empress's wisdom and or perspective. So at 1:31, a plane flew over as I started here. The Wheel of Fortune, and then the 31, which is the 5 of Wands. That can be group endeavors or conflicts, games, sports, the pursuit of happiness, battles, wars, but co-creating on both sides with the plane coming really close. At 124, that number came up from the numbers, and the first entry there was Gabriel. So there's the messages coming in. The number 2 was faith, number 3 was lies, 4 was scam, and 5 was Marcia. 312 also came up. The first entry there was diamond and silk. 2 was Patricio, 3 was Borders, 4 was Brigitte, 5 was Masonic Lodge, 6 was Rogers, 7 Records, 8 Independent, and 9 was Melinda Gates. 10 was Archangel Samael. 11 was Bridget, as opposed to Brigitte. Were they the same? I don't think they were the same spelling. Oh, there was a D in there, yeah. And then number 12 was Holiness, 13 was Home Depot. So Gabriel and Diamond and Silk, and the message of heaven on earth, with the number 324, the first entry was the Eagle has landed, which came up multiple times since then for my reads. The second was Reptilian, third was Promise, and 131 came up also with Andrea, Coca-Cola, Left, Inanna, Mask, and Anon. And Peter then came up, just the name Peter, and then Gabriel was triggering that. And that first entry was Leonardo with Iron Man, Goddess, Paradise, and Titan. Space Ark, Marshall, Tenet, Katharina, and Moss Table, and Magnificent. And then with Gabriel also, Tracy came up. And another plane flew over at that time, at 10:46. The first entry there was pyramid, lights out, company, surrender, don't look up, Bermuda Triangle, and God's in our DNA. So Sam I am, and Eagle has landed, the space ark and pyramid with fire in their belly. With 44 of faith and 444 in the space ark, father and mother co-creating and wise, but mother is the mediator in the middle, deciding or the third factor. He may lead, but she keeps the peace and brings it home, or is the direction. Bird is the 3, which looks like a bird flying sideways. Third base steals home is okay. As the A's, as long as all know their intent. Temporary bases with mound in the middle, pitching on the hill at 10:55, the wheel and the ace of swords, or Excalibur, the truth, that she is the deciding factor. The X factor, no whys about it. The who and human. Who am I? I am hue, a spectrum of colors, breaking the beam of light down into many things that we can love, without being blinded or without taking too much in. The wordsmith, just Jane, just George, just be, just one. Fair, righteous, and equitable, and the word justa came up here. Correct, well granted, a tournament and joust, a lie, morally justified, joust near and beside, chivalry, to repair, mind, and adjust, mason, master, the door, a dormouth, accustomed, and used were all coming up. And then Jane B. George came up. Remember B, the letter B is number 2, and the letter A is number 1. So Jane B, number 2, George A, number 1, which is Jane and Tarzan, as George of the jungle, Tarzan raised by apes. As George has been humanized, but he never forgets his roots. And then the booger comes up as the piece of snot, and Tarzan as at 1109 of justice and alignment, and the 9 of the hermit and compassion endings. Tarzan is Tar of the throne, and Zan of just, as we just talked about, just Jane and just George and just B and just one. Tarzan is the throne of just, only, merely, but, bed, mat, night, doubt, water, tooth, and presumption, down. And that's all I need. And again, that's from the jerk. Just, J-U-S-T, equals the Jew's path. Juice at the crossroads of contrast, opposing views. The underlying energy there of 16 in the Pleiades came up. And biblical number 33, the 14 of boundaries, the pin and the claw as we start out this read. So remember in the word juxta came up as in juxtaposition, J-U-X-T-A, where the X factor is in the middle. As we just talked about, the feminine is the deciding factor, right? So if you have a polarized energy of masculine and feminine, the third in the middle is a second part of the feminine energy, the X, and the double X of the feminine. So the juxta is the Jew on one side with a TA on the other. And Jew is to come down from the cross, where TA is coming up as to walk up or climb Jacob's ladder, where you meet in the middle at the X. So the Jew comes up, coming down from the cross as the I and you, or the sovereign, and the TA comes up, the walk up, the climb of Jacob's ladder, as we and us, or the collective. And the X factor in the middle as she decides, the juxtaposition. So we start with this, the King of Pentacles, which is number 65. The sheep, the pandas, the pigs from Pleiades heal people. And the land, bless and honor them and let them enfold you in their blue light. Again, talking about the card of the Pleiades in 16, which is the Tower and sudden events at 11:11. Open to love and healing from the Pleiades, and notice the Pleiades is the plea and the aid. The biblical carpenter working on their fourth leg with hammer and chisel, carving a hole for the fourth support. 11:11 of 11, or 111, which is an abbreviation for co-creation, +1. The head covered with sheet, or sheepish, and robe, to remind him to row and just be, you and me, number 2 and number 1, or B and A. The juxtaposition of thank you and Lepidoptera came up as scale and wings, butterflies, moths, and skippers. In males, juxta organ that supports the adiagas, I don't know how, it's AEDEAGAS, that's located between two valve or valvae, alongside or next to each other. Again, the energy of that juxtaposition, where it's coming up as the Jew of you and I, and the TA also of gratitude of we and us, and the collective. So the Jew and the Te with X or female in the middle, 2 number 8s dancing as A, B, C, and X, Y, and Z. A, B, C as he, she, and 3 flies, and X, Y, and Z as she, he, and Z who zigzags. When he follows, she flies away or soars. When she follows, he zigzags, trying to lose them, confuse them, so he can get some Z's. The acts of the AX, BY, and CZ of the ABCs combined with the XYZs in order to bring them together. If or and, proposing a yes or no question without Y, the acts by check, or czar without R. The energy which sparkles, and yet imitation, only just, of diamond. The king without the 3D collective are a king without their people. The acts by fake sparkle and no support. And acts B, and Abby was coming up there too, only Axe Bridge and Axe Bar, or the town in UK and the news. Just CZ, or just C's. Also the letter C equals 3 and the Empress, and Z equals 2, which can be Q, and the High Priestess in Divine Feminine, the 32 of the Journeyman. The journey to Oz, which also can be ounces or oxygen, to just breathe and inspire. The B and the I, just B, number 2, and just 1, which is A. She is the transition. The 13, which is the capital letter B, is 1-3, which, remember, we talk about the leaping to the 4 before starting over again, but here it's going backwards on how you have to know how to get home before you leave. So she in the transition of 13 to the number 2 and then 1, the countdown of 4, 3, 2, 1 to blast off. The eagle has landed. Sam, I am. Do you like my hat or my cover? I like green eggs, the young'uns, who are heart-based. And ham, the ham I knocked for a loop, and pigs hamming it up. And the 1, 2, 3 came up here as the leap of the ABCs and XYZs of he and she. I have big expressive eyebrows, as the eagle talks, Sam I am. A third eye cover, but just now I was getting cancer instead, and that's referencing the United States and their birthday. The eagle has landed, Sam I am. Do you like my hat? I like green eggs and ham. I have big expressive eyebrows, a third eye cover, and a beak, and oh, my talons, my grip, the better to sink into you, my dear. I am proud and soar the skies by the dawn's early light. I am the sun's collective and rising, and the daughter cell splitting and setting, the O of the human embodiment of source, and the XY generation of oxygen, of the human, the hu-man, with X and Y chromosomes, X the deciding factor, the X factor, the little something something, and the unknown mystery of she, and the Y of he, the capital L together of XY on a graph, and the L of the lambda, the lamb to the father at the right angle. The right lamb and the LA, which is Los Angeles, the angels, sweet Father, angel of mine, the one of glee, her mystery school and his university, grateful for just one verse of VE and Ars, the holy place of offering at the Ass, and that's interesting because today the anus came up as well, and the word sterile came up, STERYL, a univalent radical. So the Ars also comes up, RCE, as trade and craft, but, burn, and scorched, or multiple Rs. They just are, as she, X, crazy 8 stance, and he, Y, constantly dividing, needing to climb, while she is able to do this in both directions. So he is very curious about this, always asking, why? Why? And just needs to go back to basics. And I was just getting basic training with the 0, which is the source embodiment of the simple human, to be human again. And remember, Elena Janan talks about on her videos, the Altians came through to say that we are actually called humans because we are the who from the planet Mon, or where we were originally from, the galaxy. So at 12:17 is the hanging man and the star, the sudden plea and aid of the carpenter, J. The patient angel or sick with angle, the 14 of a higher love or for love, must set boundaries as she sets the boundaries and picks up the auric keys on the path to the sun portal in the jet stream, the jet suns. Through the arc and the auric key is the golden key of the 3 keys, CHEZ, the home in the round table of the L, the final quarter or Q of the lambda father, and the queen's gambit, her game of 11 cubits of the queen's chamber made father lamb, and the pin of the vacuum chamber in his headquarters, and her drawing up the energy of the sun in 2 rings that overlap, as in the Vesica Pisces, the holy place of longing and offering of the inner child, a pie or shared seas. 2 humans as one pinned. Have you heard about Hugo and Kim? Her new job as he got his claws or talons or talent into her, raising the ante to the King of Pentacles here. So at 12:34, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, shut the door, the underlying energy is the sun, and the 10 of water, the 15 of the Hu-Na prayer, the 8 of the Sphinx, the 20 of the Pleiades, and the 16, the invoking or taking in of the sun, destined high vibe DNA, and blessed water, and linked to the music of the spheres, a perfect divine blueprint to reinstate it. The sun and the water and the Hu-Na prayer, now moment of Hu, to dance with Hermes, Atlantis to Hawaii, and the Kahuna tribe. May the rain of blessings fall. Wake up to tunnel from Sphinx to hollow earth, a portal of wisdom linked to ascended Mars to radiate peace and oneness throughout the universe, with sudden healing or spontaneous healing with the Pleiadians. At 12:48, the hanging man and the walking away and within of the first card here, which is Buddha, and 33 of the Christ vibration, and harmlessness, oneness. The 9 of the cosmic heart, which had the violet flame on it, which is the Venus energy of 9D in this card, in the call of Mother Mary and the unicorns to download this high vibration from the universal heart to your heart to radiate then outward here on earth. The 31 of Thoth, Gabriel, Mercury energy, and South America and the Incas. When each aspect is in tune, the whole is automatically in harmony. I am one with all, and the universal heart in perfect harmony. The 7 sisters and the Buddhic positions or postures then came up, as the postures start with Sunday. to stand with your right hand over your left, and you can look these up online. For Monday is right hand up with palm out, like saying stop to someone. On Tuesday is laying on your right side with your head on your right hand and toes perfectly aligned with each other. Wednesday is hands holding alms bowl with the right in the front and left under. But again, it's always the right protecting the left. On Thursday is the seated pose of the lotus with your hands at rest in the lap with the left underneath and the right on top, palm up. And Friday is the hands at the chest and heart, right over left. Saturday is the full lotus with the hands linked together and the right hand under holding the palms up, again interlocked. To bring the Venus message for Lord Maitreya, which is number 30 here, and integrity to the union at 110, the magician and destiny of that high vibration and the underlying energy of the spirit and religion, spirituality and religion. With the candle, the open book and open hands, imprisonment and or slavery, the father and child, the spouse and biblical. Spiritually enslaved by spouse's father or father and space, or in a biblical sense, to work for them. All right, and mens rea was coming up too, with enactus rea in a legal way. Again, the guilty mind as opposed to the guilty act. And at 113 is the magician or the masculine, and the 13 of the transition or death card of lessings and blessings at 149 or 50. And 18 or 19 seconds was the energy of the ultimate fulfillment of the 9 of cups and 10 of cups for the single person in the family. And then the 18 and 19, which is the moon and the sun. The fourth quarter of time, which is 46 to 00, or is that 45 to 59? Time stops at 11 before 2, and there's that 11 and 2 that came up from the die earlier, remember? Time stops 11 before 2, 11 being the higher vibration of 2, with 18 to 19 seconds. And then the subtraction of those numbers was 41 to 42. With Asia wrapped in yellow, with lotus right leg up and hand resting just below the knee, with the left hand resting perpendicular on the right ankle or calf. The feminine submission to the masculine on her throne, suspended in time as the carpenter builds the fourth leg of bench or stool. Perhaps for her to put her feet up and relax. The yellow drape is covering the galactic portal, left shoulder to heart, liver, and right kidney and hip, shaped as the stars in the card here. The galactic stars card, the reflection of energy at the pyramids in Egypt, were coming up as in this lotus pose, okay? So it was coming up as this drawing here, overlapping the position of Buddha and the stars that were in the card. And this square of these 4 stars here were coming up very much. And it could be the energy of a dipper here, but that was just what was showing on the card. And I noticed that shape again today. So from the Pleiades, from biblical through time of Buddha and harmlessness, to Asia of Venus and 9D, to galactic messenger of South America and the Incas, to Egypt's integrity. The carpenter's Christed aspect and the Asian woman's galactic aspect of the collective message in union of the 2 pyramids, and galactic, which is the gal act of the inner child. And Egypt was the egg of the YPT, which is the U equal to raise, lift, announce, and reveal, but without the U, the YPT. Without you, girl, right? The ability to raise or lift or announce or reveal, but without the inner female. It's only a matter of time and space, with monk Ki, she, in the middle of the Hu-Man race, with E and gypped, where she got gypped, the E and the W, which is Merlin, and the C in water, the fall of the calm, the waterfall that is calm. The square W is the Merlin, so the E is its fall. The M in the square is the rebuild or clearing to rebuild, And then the backward E, or the 3 in a square, is getting up again in the rolling stone on high, because H and I also are a rolling stone of each other. And they both roll into what looks like a window or gift. One is upright and one is laying down, together the rolling stone path of one. At 139 of the masculine and the Knight of Cups, the underlying energy here of the 32 of orange to gold, that energy of the orangutan to the perfected man, the ego to the ancient one, the energy of the OG, GE or EA, and the OG of Oh God to reflect and go, 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 3 times a lady. In the tree of life, the 3 keys, the tree keys, where life equals lie and iron, leaping if to if, the what ifs, plus the lowercase e, which is the egg cracked open. And literally, I told you that an egg fell out of a nest and cracked 3 days in a row, and I keep cleaning it up, and 3 eggs have been pushed out of the nest and cracked. So the mother bird, something must have happened to her, because the eggs aren't being protected. And it makes me feel so badly. There's this energy, but cracked, because I had thrown out a couple old eggs that I didn't want to use as well. So there's very much this energy of all these eggs cracking open. Or lift without the T, and I was just getting skiing like on a T-bar, or the cross to bear, only egg to crack. So again, in the tree of life, the tree Shay, C-H-E-Z, as in the home, the family tree, where the lift without the T, or again, going up the slope without the T-bar, or cross to bear, leaves only an egg to crack open at 144. The 43 of the 3 of Cups, of coming together in joy to heal and receive, the 18 of Mother Earth, as the daughters heal the mother with the Page of Cups evolution, birthing the sweetheart with Mother's aqua rose gold, love, and the journey of the 43, or the sun, and coming together in joy to the moon, or perhaps clearing the land for birth, or cooling the land for birth, of 2 hearts, healing hands, and 2 roofs as one, 2 hearts as one, sweethearts, lovers, number 6 of a higher love, 14, in the tail or trail of the sun's men's ray. So men's ray came up, which is that energy of guilt of the mind. At 149, which is the masculine and the 9 of Cups, of getting your wish, the first card here was green of 39 and the Knight of Cups and heart healing. And again, Archangel Raphael coming up with that. And the Queen of Wands, 24, of the orange, of stretching and lunging. He finding the keys and putting them into place, or in other words, the last leg of the race, with Emerald Time and Asia Minor, and Orange the New Black, reaching for yellow, and Kuan Yin, the Q of 1, the Yin of the Divine Feminine, and the Y is the direction of the cue ball, to hit the pyramid and end up with the 8 ball at the end. So, and Spirit's connecting with me on the, I think you might want to listen to that a couple times. So at 153 is the masculine and the Knight of Swords. The 52 of the Queen of Swords, with priorities and space to spread their golden wings in a whole spectrum of colors as opposed to just white. Where right at that moment, my daughter came out to tell me that the white cat was sitting at the end of the driveway as she went out to take Teddy for a walk. The Knight of Cups with time, and the Queen of Swords with space, and the Queen of Wands, the referee, making the call of time to give space. Between the Buddha's quiet, or the booze, and the ha, right, that kind of illumination. And boo is also the abbreviation for boots, the herdsman. The energy of the Buddha quiet time, and the DD, capital DD in the middle, which is Divine Director, comes up there. Between Buddha's quiet time and Thoth's message, with who in the middle to the nth degree, on all sides and off sides, where the D is also the line and the anti-C, which is the number 44th, the delta and the 500 as well. And the anti-C, who also holds the center seat in the delta 500 of D and D, which is actually the M of 1000. The triquetra, or the Irish knot, of the tri and the tra, which are both number 3, and the Q in the middle as the queen, of course, over and across the path in the forest, that she is the middle as well. So then we end up with the C of the Christ energy and the anti-C, which is the other parenthesis, the pairing of the C's, and the one in the middle, the monkey in the middle, the arc that's there, in the contract of determined length. But again, when the one's in the middle, there's no direction there at play with the toroidal field. And then the C and the M came up as the Christ and the Mary, which equals 100, right? So we have, 900, right? It's 100 less 1,000. So again, the parentheses with the one in the middle is abbreviation for co-creation, which that means that 111 is also that abbreviation, as well as the V in the middle of 1 and 1. They all mean co-creation. The M is the co-creation, and D is abbreviation for M in an old way of writing. The co-creators and delta changes, or V1, which is the lover, and he is the 1V, which is the emperor, the one in control, or the other side. So the 4 and the 6, of course, is the 6 of Cups children loving each other. And but then the V1 comes up twice for the feminine. So we have the 4 of the Emperor and the 66 of the feminine, which is the Queen of Pentacles, 2 rolled into 1. And if the DD equals the M, 500 and 500 is 1,000, and the D equals the M because it's an abbreviation for M, then the DD is also 2 M's, which can represent Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Metatron, and Michael, but 2 sovereigns co-creating side by side. The Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. Where the Queen of Wands and Queen of Swords come together is the Queen of Pentacles with the Knight of Cups. The energy of time, love, and death, and again the 3 abstracts were coming up here, of life, time, and death, space, and in the middle is the love. The DNA rearranged, and DNA. And is short for Andromeda, which is and, Rome, and da. There's that father of the lambda leap. And then the poopy. I used to call my dad Poopy, but not as in poop, but as in a affectionate fatherly name. And it did come up. I did see Poopy as a reference to it being popish at one point, but you won't find it in the definitions I find now. I actually saw that in an older book or article. But there's this energy of not and Romeo. But so Andromeda is Rome, instead of Romeo, it's Romida, right? So it's not Romeo, but Rome and Dad. Romeo is all grown up for Jew, and Romida and Juliet, and et is also and. As Rome wasn't built in a day, but on the 7th, July, in the 4th quarter it was, independence, or in the deepening dance from Rome and the Jews lie, in deepening the dance of Rome ants, Rome of Dad and Rome of Aunt, roaming by twos, 6, 6 plus 7, the 4 to 7 of the heart to the crown, to the 8, 8 dance of Lionsgate. In the dance of romance, of DNA, RMO, which RMO is now a new acronym for CRO, which is they're research, contract research organizations, but it's now called RMO because now there's, they've just built up more middlemen to make more money there. So the DNA of co-creating in the now with Research Management Organization, or CRO for short, the 6/6 to the 7-4 to 7, so here's June 6th and then July 4th to the 7th being significant here. through to the 8-8 portal, of course, of Lionsgate. The Queen of Pentacles and the Emperor, now sovereign Knight of Cups chariot, to take the Queen of Pentacles, Cinderella, to the 8-8 ball Crazy Eights dance at 2:29. And I don't know what day the Chinese Valentine's Day is this year, but somebody can look that up if they'd like and post in the comments. That would be great. So at 2:29, which is the feminine and the 29 of being present in the moment, the Queen of Pentacles, Cinderella, to the 8-8 ball dance of the Crazy Eights, the Patient Angel and the Knight of Cups green, but the Queen of Wands is orange and the Queen of Swords is golden and winged. Big Bird, Lady Liberty, and a message to bring as the Queen of Wands clears the crown, placing the fire in the torch flame, in chariots of fire. At 2:32, which actually is a local route to New Hope, 2 is the Divine Feminine, 32 is the Journey. The Tree of Life of the 53 Knight of Swords, now cleared, folding in upon itself as freedom rings in the triquetra. The Q in the middle of the tri and tra, which are both 3s, perhaps different variations of 3, as the 2 eagles escort the Queen to the Castle on Cloud 9 via 54, the Page of Swords, to the Knight of Wands' passionate heart and love for life, to Thanksgiving every day, or thank God, fruit, veggies, and bread with blessings and thanks, as the Knight of Swords, Page of Swords, and Knight of Wands, and the 4-7 to delivery with message or tree to the castle and back to the Knight of Wands, 4-7 exclamation point, which also can reference that boomerang, right? 4 to 7 is the heart to the crown, but also the energy of the gamma ray and the boomerang and the lambda leap. And you have to know how to get back before you leap out. So at 2:38, the feminine and the Queen of Cups, and the heart to crown of 4 to 7, which 47 is also the 7 of Cups. We have the 53 and the 54 with 1 and 17, and the 25 and 47 with 1 and 5, and 25 came up, and today, that day, was the energy of 52, the Queen of Swords, with the Knight of Wands. The energy of delivery and a message of dreams, the Knight of Wands lighting a fire, of the Hierophant and their freedoms, synchronicities in heaven and their eyes, with romance of loves as May flowers bring June showers, as July is taken out of order here, as the 8 equals August, 9 September, but the 7 also means September, not only July, as Sept is 7, of September 7 to 11, or August through November, with a codependent Knight of Swords in the purple moon in June, with lots of messages sparkling and sparking at 2:47, again the 47, 7 to 11, after 4 to 7, or April to July. The Knight of Wands with heaven in their eyes, and the Queen of Swords with a delivery, the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Cups, 38 powered up to 42, 2 of Cups, to go with the flow in the canoe on the Salt River, with 55, or the Ace of Swords, Excalibur, the truth, and the shaman with their sword making peace, and how, with that one hand up, with fluted pipe to the 36 of Atlas and Inner Child, the 35 of the Wounded Warrior and Kundalini, and the sword in his backpack now, all powered up. Her light body, his Kundalini, and the 19 of the Fire Dragon, the Sun, with the fire in their belly to conquer their fears, with angelic help, or the sun and the stars. The 23 of the King of Wands needing to balance, the 13 in the transition to fly free as the pyramids align with the gullible eagle. And that came up on a post on something I had to research yesterday. Where was that? That was the Napoleon's Bridge in France. A lot was coming up. That was really cool. It came up yesterday. So we'll get to that in a minute. But we have, again, the gullible eagle, as we talked about the eagle, and again, that connection to the United States. The 48 of the 8 of Cups, into the void, which is the 30, symbolic of Om, right, with the arc and the diamond on top as the crown. The 30 is the 4 of Wands of the union within, and the 3 of creation of the flowering mother. The 41 as above so below, the pink weeping willows and the Holy Grail, mother and daughter. And the present with blue Madonna aligning with Lord Sirius for gifts, of 22, which is the Fool or the 5D station, and Archangel Sandalphon, who's with you now, with lyre to surrender or serenade, and the 20 of the conch shell, and the dodeca as the cosmos mirrors your announcement. The 11 of justice, truth, and balance and alignment in a wake-up call from mother to daughter to blue Madonna, and that can reference the Pleiadians as well, to Fool, to open their heart and call out loud, aligning with 2s and 6D. So 2s represents the feminine, but also the queens, and the 6D for instant manifestation of Castle on Cloud 9, Purple Moon, the rocket set for blast off soon, perhaps even June, as the Knight of Wands fires up the heart for 5 more cards here, 51, 28, 46, 2, and 47, as the King of Swords twin flame and the 6 of Cups inner children, 2 innocents with lots of options, as the King of Swords with diamond light, purifying the twin flame karmic knots in the double diamond grid with the inner kids. And who are you? Yes, who I am. And 2, in review and reflection, time out in the purple moon for blessings and thanks and heaven in your eyes, the abundant universe, yes, 1 verse, creation of urgency, generation C, and the whispering bench, the 4th finger to the 4th chakra, the 44 of her harvest, and the 4th chakra to the 7th and beyond, in that boomerang, boom, E-rang, I've fallen and I can't get up. So roll over again and again and again until you can. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Choo-choo! As the train comes in, and literally the train's horn blew right at that time. It was so cool. At 3:05, which is the 3 of the Mother and the Empress, and the 5 of the Hierophant, which also can represent a father energy. So, and that train horn was in the distance. So, and again, the boomerang came up in Sam's read too, which I didn't hear anything about because I don't watch the news, but that people around the world have been hearing some kind of boom, and it sounds like a whale's cry. But he said that there's testing being done, just like they broke the sound barrier, breaking the veil barrier. So they said those booms are them doing tests on breaking through to the other side. And again, the whale coming up very significantly, and that's like the music of the spheres sounds like whale cries. And that's the same thing that that sounded like when he displayed that. So at 3:06 is the Empress and the 6 of the Lovers so the Kanga and the Rue as the sun rises. And again, there's a little Joey in the kangaroo pouch, so there could be children coming up here as well. The Kanga and the Rue as the sun rises, unsettled times and a need to plan ahead. And that could be, maybe you need to plan literally ahead for whatever reason, and that'll mean something to whoever it means something to. November, dolphin, and financial gain in meeting with a stranger, an important handshake. With unicorn, November or 11, leap and shake to use your horn and persevere as camel with cushion and pin, or pin cushion, pillows, and again, I feel like a pin cushion. I was doing some cleaning and I killed myself. I have all these boo-boos here, so that energy of being a pin cushion is coming up. Pillows and water, or bursting a bubble, with the bird flying in and news on the way. The moon changes your life with yoke and feeling tied down or frustrated. And gong, like the boom, but this is a gong. An exciting event or opening ceremonies, and then again, where the last Olympics was Tokyo, here comes up Paris and France. And they're off. And of course, it's coming up now because there's a lot of planning to do to get to the Olympics next year. As the hare is overly concerned with sexual matters, with XXX111, which is the 33rd Olympics in Paris 2024, from July 26 to August 11, 2024, as literally the cards I was reading right here came up in Olympic ring formation, the 5 cards. The wind chimes of peace and harmony and the cobweb of protection from negative forces beyond your control, with butterfly and the change for the better, as we have better and butter. And I was just getting you better, you bet. Allow your webs outside your fronts and back doors, as butterflies could bring a change for the better. At 317, which is the Empress and the Star, the underlying energy of the shark that missed the boat of love and crib. So the shark, take care, or will he have a loss of material wealth? As a vacation and family well wishes come true, with tent, or perhaps camping, or in tent, a temporary nest and assured success with good plans and hard work. The June Star, guaranteed success with a money path just waiting for you to find it and struggling to untie the knot with claws dug in. Be careful, do not take risks, as rope and metal do not mix. You know that metal will win. So be careful with barrel that's falling over or something lacking. Perhaps just need to fill up again with flowers and bluebird of happiness in the Garden of Eden or Ease Den, where temptation will test you again and again. At 327, again the Empress, and the 27 of the Ace of Wands, or the Flame. With wealth and a chain of events, or gold chain, and pleasure with close friend, a dog close up, or parting of the hair, or someone wearing a wig or extensions here. And Stevie Nicks was coming up with the dog there too. I will never break the chain. Right? I could swear, I hear you saying, I would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. So that was coming up as a message. At 329 is the Empress and the 3 of Wands as the underlying energy of the King of Cups Hermit, or getting advice from the King of Wands or his advisor or doctor, or lovers discussing things, as Gemini Queen of Swords or lover Capricorn, or Queen of Swords lawyer or breakup with Gemini and Capricorn, the Empress and the Emperor, perhaps the Emperor's with the Queen of Cups and kids, or third party and their kids, or the Emperor with soulmate and the Knight of Swords charging in. Or the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Swords are soulmates, and the Knight of Pentacles is moving on to help one suffering in silence or sister, with the Page of Cups traveling at 333, with the Page of Wands around the world, or to the Divine Feminine or Pisces, or Cancer and fiery Pisces invited by the Twin Flame King of Pentacles, or King of Pentacles giving the Page of Wands and Page of Pentacles a choice of options, or perhaps will pay for vacation or school but not both. Or just one can go, but the other has studies. At 336, the Empress and the 10 of Wands, or Atlas energy. So by the way, with the Olympics in Paris and XXX111, 3 times a lady was coming up, and of course, Lady Liberty, of 1 is I, 1 is love, and 1 is you. All right, so I love you. 3 times a lady, and I love you. That's the XXX111. And co-creation. Going on a treasure hunt, X marks the spot. 111 plus, question mark? All right, so that's coming up regarding that little play on words. So with Death and Dark Night, ending or Scorpio plowing through the justice system, or not going to let some judge or Libra get in their way, the King of Pentacles is perhaps a bit snobby here, with Scorpio and Libra, or in a divorce and dealing with judges and lawyers, as the King of Swords, Gemini or Virgo or Libra, or presenting attorney or medical testimony, or representing themselves. Perhaps I'm saying, quote unquote, he knows, or thinks he knows, he can outsmart this judge at 340. Of course, that's a very elitist mentality, but maybe he's that smart. It doesn't mean the intentions are good or bad. Can be both. So we have the 340, which is the Empress, and the Page of Cups, which is that very innocent energy, as the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands together, or the Knight of Wands is late and right behind them, or they're coming, as the Nine of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles, with the Nine of Wands as well to guard them, or defense. And that's been coming up, those three cards have been coming up a lot together, even though I shuffle and shuffle and shuffle. So it's like these two sovereigns are traveling with their bodyguard there. And the King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles with Scorpio, Libra, and Gemini or Virgo, the King of Swords between, or Dark Knight is coming in for justice or to finally end things, with the King of Swords presenting or opening the case, as the Queen of Pentacles to the side, rushing in at the last minute, keeping the Nine of Cups and Nine of Pentacles on guard and waiting, or now with closed chambers, because now everyone in the case has arrived and no one else is allowed in. As the Queen of Wands is watching the Page of Swords with opening remarks, or child or message is stepping up to the plate, or perhaps that's Little League. As the Knight of Cups offers love to the Fool, who never listens, perhaps with a loyal friend or pup, or the Page of Swords who's always tagging along, mimicking everything he does. Or this could be a silent partner, aide, nurse, Pisces or Virgo, or psychic or sister, or in the witness protection program at 349, the Empress and the Nine of Cups of getting their wish. The Nine of Wands wounded warrior could be the Queen of Wands on guard to the others present, perhaps perceived or are more powerful than them, or a child who says hi but then offers their love to the Fool, or the other one, per their perspective, or the Queen of Wands offers love, or the Knight of Cups does, to sister, friend, or witness who got free so that they could be there. Perhaps child or Aries just finished a religious studies class and feels free, or Aries and Pisces or Virgo, and the Queen of Wands could also be snubbed by the Page of Swords, child, or Aries or Pisces, or this also could be a virtuous person, a religious person, or none at 353, the Empress and the Knight of Swords. So I'm going to bring up this little bit next. I don't know if I have any cards to show you for it, but I do want to bring it because it kind of expanded on the Olympics there. Yeah, so it's these energies here from the T deck. If I can get it to focus. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So from the T cards, this was at 5:01 on the 13th, and the man on the road to success, the underlying energy of the ladder following the flame to receive gift of balance with man or Libra. After woman with loss or 51st dates, the wreath and the dog protection from a powerful friend, and May club, or someone pushing you into excitement or fireworks, the excitement of a real firecracker, or taking the throne in a marriage or retirement. In between two trees, a hammock may be with elephant and ditch below. So again, there could be someone that could have hung a hammock over a big ditch. Or this could reference a generation gap as well. With the elephant with heartache over what they no longer have, with older woman, and slow caterpillar, but things are changing. Time for grades and fun. And that could be grapes as well. So then OC was coming up, which can reference many different places or things. But again, 514 kept coming up as significant yesterday, so what came up as significant for you, and that won't apply to everyone, but it was definitely coming up. And there definitely may be something significant for me, but I'll let you know later. The 65 degrees of the King of Pentacles coming up and windy, as someone may be leaving your life, where the chair is full but then was empty, and that could have been a visitor coming in and out as well. A tower of solid foundation with success with effort, with harp and clouds and great happiness, with only temporary issues on the stairway or DNA ladder to heaven. A candle in the wind will show you the way, with box and treasure chest, or perhaps Libra man. And then, when a man loves a woman. So that song was coming up at 523, the Hierophant and the King of Wands, and 3 times a lady. Going on a treasure hunt. X marks the spot. 3 lines or arrows down, plus sign, and a question mark, which is the X, the unknown. With a pinch and a squeeze and a tropical breeze and Bloody Marys times 3, gotcha. And that's another X, unknown, right? The unexpected. The year of the Olympics. And again, this came up a couple years ago. I was getting this window of 11 months from 4-4 to 5-5, but it was supposed to be right before the Olympics. But then the Olympics were canceled back then 4 years ago or 5 years ago. And so it didn't actually happen until the next year, and then everything was out of sorts because of you know what. So the timelines were thrown off. So this 4-4 to 5-5 is coming back again now. The year of the Olympics from this past April to next 5-5, 11 months or 1 year, 1 month, 1 day, and 1 hour, 11-11. And Paris 2024. And there's something about Tokyo still coming up. Apparently not Tokyo, because that was the last Olympics, which, you know, didn't have a great turnout. And then we have Paris being broken down into par is, right? Par is that level point, equal, or just enough, getting by, is. And then Paris is also PA, rises. So the father, or Pennsylvania, or whatever PA also, which can be an announcement that rises. The PA story, or announcements. Perhaps a spanking with a rod, laughter and climax, and looping around again. Reams and 500 sheets were coming up too of paper and packages. And negative criticism. And again, the bundle of twigs, which is also the meaning for the rod. But laughter definitely coming up. And TwinCities.com came up. The Lynx in the preseason game of Canada. This was also coming up, How to Get Away with Murder, the show on Netflix, is also placed in Philadelphia, the show. So there's a couple different energies bringing us back to the Philadelphia area. And then the Twin Cities came up as well. But the Lynx was coming up as in the Bobcat family, with sharp vision through deception, transformation, and shapeshifter. Created stars and the northern lights according to native stories, and the guardian of knowledge, wisdom, strength, courage, determination, and facing the challenge head on. Called to tap into your own inner strength and power with the Celtic guardian of the underworld, able to see through the veil, transformation and rebirth, and to help let go and move forward, that change is coming, especially for those embarking on new spiritual journey. 9 lies with physical and spiritual health, purity and innocence, and in Christianity, and the Bible with Isaiah compares the eyes of God to those of the lynx, a very rare animal. May be called to a life of prayer and intercession prophecy. If you've been suppressing your gifts, a reminder to trust your gut again. Far East, good luck and feng shui, fire energy. In Japan, the guardian and good fortune, teaching patience and faith as well. And the hammock came up significant to me too, because I remembered when I was taking Reiki, on that very first meditation we did, there was a hammock in my meditation. So that may be significant if you think back. And for me, that was like 7-8 years ago. So some things may be popping back up because they're coming full circle. So PA rising with laughter, reams, package and tail, rod and staff. And again, that rod and staff can reference a music script as well. 555, the Parisian man, the forest of muddled thinking and goldfish of increase in material wealth and or spiritual growth. Diamonds are forever came up, and of course that's James Bond. You'll be receiving a precious gift and a pointer finger warning of the bear. And is that the mark? And of course that's up and down, we all know that. The underlying energy of the turkey and the man behaving stupidly. For abundant good news, listening to the vulture, depression or worry that someone is against them or you. Don't listen to another's paranoia and their own obstacles to overcome. There may be a period of ill health or depression or fly issues, and I don't know if the flies are going to bring something else in. The dog that's far away may be a distant friend thinking of you with hidden secrets that can harm you, right? If you keep secrets, that can harm you. And that came up with the skull. In broken ring or parting of the ways, with angels guiding and protecting you, with happiness but family sorrow on the mountain road to success. And again, you may be happy, but there may be something sad that's happening in your family that may not be directly connected to you. But the Rocky Mountain Road was coming up, and again, that's West Virginia. And the fire of emotion to get the job done, passionate in love or hate, with fan in romance or celebration or fun, and fanning the flame. Over the rainbow, the worst part is over, nearing the pot of gold. With a rat in your midst working against you or feeding a fire, with the tulip in the carriage, great passion for journey. That's like a tongue twister right there. Great passion for journey. Someone going out of your life or an end of a situation with mountainous challenge to overcome. And then Humphrey Bogart came up. But also You Dirty Rat, which is James Cagney. So Bogey came up. And again, there's stuff about golf coming up here with Bogey and the other stuff that was coming up. But so Bogey is 12/25/1889 in New York. And there was something on YouTube from 10/10/16 that came up for James Cagney. But Bogey is also a truck framework with a wheel set, like a second set of wheels in it. You know, like the big trucks. So and then Cagney came up again. It was broken down, but I guess it was broken up after that. The Dilemma came up, and that's a more okay. All right, so there are a lot of nice energies coming up here. All right, this is okay, I was trying to figure, okay, so this is the next one. All right, so we have the Fortunes Oracle at the top, and then the Journey of Love, and then the Energy deck, the Tea Leaves, and then the half deck of Rider-Waite. I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Okay. So this was done 1149 to 1148. Oh, I wrote it down the wrong order. It was 46 to 49, or to 50. So 46 is the 6 of Cups, and 50 is the 10 of Cups. And 11 is Justice and Alignment. So the cards at the end of each deck came out to 12211 and 42234, but they also could be construed as 21112 and 23442. So the way they came out was 1221, patience on the fool's journey and energetic exchange with community or social necessities and world justice and wisdom, the 23 of the King of Wands, which is also this year, and the Emperor, and the 2 of Cups, 1 to 1. Learning to keep the balance, bookends, gate holders, pillars, polar ties, structures, masculine and feminine, and The divine feminine balance, the divine masculine may be off and he's off regarding will and control, or father and son. Divine masculine with leap of faith to justice, and the emperor's leap to energetic exchange, or the arrows of love with the empress and the emperor, which could be his own partner or a sibling perhaps, as the divine feminine is lining with wisdom and or hanging out with the king of wands, or the high priestess in energetic exchange, 1-to-1. Where 221 came up, which was Nicholas, School, Andreas, and Rosa. 223 was Masonic, Sabrina, 9-8, and Patience. 111 was Good, Cocaine, Ram, and Mar, which also means sea. 344 with Christine, St. George, Good Luck. Narendra, Mahdi, or a rigged election. And the divine masculine stationing to 6D. Or divine masculine to divine masculine, an open heart to the divine feminine world, or emperor to emperor, stationing in the energetic exchange, the arrows of love, of self-love, the fool and the empress, or high priestess and king of wands, at the 1221 leap, the 42 of two of cups, and the 9 and 8 of patience, or the human body temperature. The 42 kept coming up like the two polarities in the middle as well. 42, 42, 42, the one-on-one. And the energy of the emotions in the middle being good but rammy as well. Or freedom with the energetic exchange at the end. 1-to-1 times 3, and again 3 times a lady. And remember 1-1 is an H as well. So 3 H's and 3 8's is the union energy of infinity. The leap 1-to-1 to the King of Wands, or higher self and King of Wands, the Fool and the Empress, 1-to-1, co-creating at 5D station in energetic exchange, with 9 and 8, the human body temp, compassion infinitely dancing, do-si-do, 3 times a lady and I love you, with 223, 11, actually 111, 2234, as the 2 of cups at the poles and the middle, and that can reference the elections, and doors number 1, 2, and 3, and which one will you choose? At 1224 is the Hanging Man and the Queen of Wands, with 31 of thorns and the 18 of distant shores, 15 of appreciation, Rat, September, and the Queen of Pentacles. The crown of thorns with group and conflict, weathering the storm, will bring positive changes. 4 moons, which is the super blue moon, the blue-purple moon here, with water under the bridge, violet and emerald, and seeing the ripple effect, with the underlying cause, romance and distant shores, dark shadows, and finding a rose within that. You dirty rat comes up with James Cagney again, where the cag means to annoy. Leg, thigh, and the leg card keeps coming up. Leg, thigh, hook, foot, root, rope, string, and cord. Barrel, keg, stump, stalk, severed branch, knob, broken tooth. And I was getting the cheese stands alone. With the nay of Cagney is the flute or reed, the bamboo. And I used to play the oboe, so of course whenever the reed comes up, that comes up for me. But the horse says, no, or any will do. Cut off, cut down, over a barrel, or nonstop talking, or neighing, or unable to cut the cord, rope, root too deep, or hook, leg or thigh high, needing to get a leg up, or petty annoyance, or bamboo overgrowth. Someone's working against you behind your back again. Ego-based groups being cleared through August. Subconscious and shadow, false gratitude and pride, Cancer and shadowy Capricorn, and a rat in your midst. September, Queen of Pentacles, perhaps someone is stealing your roses or flowers for Algernon, and research gains that are only temporary, but then reverted to the root issue again. At 1241, the Hanging Man and the Ace of Cups, which is the Holy Grail as well. So at 1241, the thorns of romance and subconscious and deception, the lure of the mystery, the treasure hunt for the rose without its thorns, appreciation. But is it true with a rat in your midst? Or cold September, the fall when Virgo comes in with Rammy group, and there the North Node will be in Aries in July. And this was interesting too. Prior to this, when I'd gotten up in the morning, my glasses sitting on the bed, they looked like the numbers 5, 3, and 1. So 5, 3, 1 was coming up. And again, those odd numbers, 1, 3, 5. And so I looked that up in Gematria, and that was at 444. And then the words that came up for 5, 3, 1 were translation, 101, which is like the dinner setting, right? The plate in the middle with the fork and knife on either side. Sally, son of Esau, and then Megan the Stallion. And the numbers that came up with Megan the Stallion were also 1080 and 180. So there's a lot of 1s and 8s and 18. And then the 10,800 years was coming up on Sam today as well as the cycle that we're in. And Megan the Stallion was coming up, it's the Stallion, was coming up as me, God, and the stall lion. Where Gant also means together with, glove or goose, me together with her, me together with he, stallion. So with this Rami group coming in at 1248 then, the 2 of the angel, the 4 of the birth, 7 of cracker, and 9 of the eagle, 5 of the celebrations, and 31 of the thorns, to the 4 to 7, heart to crown, and the 9 to 5, which references 3D jobs, with angel guidance and protection, birthing a crackerjack with positive energy. April to July, heart to crown, and eagle celebrations on the 4th of July, flipping the switch as the eagle soars, right? Because the eagle dives and the eagle rises. And here the eagle soars. The high priestess, the emperor, the chariot, the hermit, the hierophant, and the 5 of wands, as the emperor and his higher self travel with or to the hermit and hierophant or their 9 to 5 work group, Pisces, Aries, Cancer, Virgo, Taurus, and fire here, soaring toward the gift or the roses, Pandora's box with thorns you forgot about, the 30 pieces of silver, and the 39 lashes of Christ, source and compassion, of the collective of the Holy Spirit, with 30 and 39, which is the 69-8 pod, the new life paid in full upon delivery here. So at 1256, the hanging man and the 2 of swords, the first card of love and 17, 1 of abundance and 11 of flowers, with love, luck, and generosity of dreams fulfilled, direction and alignment, the stars of 11 and 11, the divine masculine, divine feminine, leap to truth and balance, fulfilling co-creation, with the hearts of stars and the energy of the sun, the flowers of justice for everyone. 20 and 32, the divine marriage, in breaking the chains in the journey of transformation, past vows and contract that weren't there to serve and uplift, but to enslave and keep down and lower your vibration into heavy densities. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. Watch out for manipulative words to guilt you into getting their way. One who loves does not guilt or manipulate. However, the truth will set you free. Yes, I made a promise, but that no longer resonates with my vibration today. I'm no longer that old self who made that promise or signed that contract way back when. So at 105 is the magician and the 5 of the hierophant and space between, the underlying energy of the 10 of 3 to 1, destiny to 1, high vibe 3 to 1, the 5 of the hierophant and freedom of change and expansion in the communal dance around the etheric egg, the cradled moon and rings of Saturn, and that's coming up as the to say turn or shift. As the gears change directions in the 16 of the sudden heart of the moment as the blood rushes in the dance of the planets, which is also the play nets. Or plan, and et is and. Again, Andromeda could be coming up again there. With 1, 2, 4, moon with orbits, as of May 10 plus, so this Saturn was coming up here. So a whole bunch of moons of Saturn were just identified May 11, 23. Enceladus or Titan, as the moon snuggles with Saturn today, and that was on the 14th. and 62 newly discovered moons, equaling total 145, where Jupiter has 95. Small potato-like, in the rings of polarizing storm of Saturn between May and 16 and June and 18, or 5 and 6 planets of Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter showing off its sunny side, and Saturn its great responsibility, with Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, and Cancer here, and perhaps a fiery Sag, of Jupiter and Cancer daughters of Saturn, Capricorn, the goat whose crabs cling to them, and growing in numbers. Okay, so there's the goat climbing the hill, the mountain of the twins, with all of the crabs starting to cling to them. And that's also referencing the Capricorn-Cancer axis. So at 119, which is the masculine or magician and the 19 of the sun, the 3 of the burning hero, the 39 of let the feminine lead the way, the 70 of heaven can wait, as it projects itself unto thee. As the Empress or Dark Mother steamrolls the burning hero, and the 39 Knight of Cups lets the divine feminine lead the way, wrangling the Kundalini with long hair of Rapunzel, performing 2 by 2 as the 2 of Pentacles, and presenting themselves when ready. 4 moons at a theater near you, with the Empress and the Knight of Cups and heaven on earth. And then the next 3 cards were 58, 52, and 36, with beauty, the ancient ones, and the cosmic butterfly. The 4 of swords of beauty rest for the Queen of Swords, receiving the ancient one's light for Atlas and their cosmic transformation with the weight of the world and map of intent. Sleeping with the enemy, Hercules and Atlas, in the 5D connection, and pinned, Hugos and Kims, letting down their hair, their rope, their cable, in continuous flow or influx of people, to horizon and mountains, who and whom? Yes, who, and yes, with an M, whom, the seeds that are us, we, 10 and cumin, which is the Q minimum, the metal of gold, and needle and hand, expensive to kneel on one knee, and thread the ring onto their finger with 3 keys, which then came up as the movie Stepmom, where Ed Harris threads the engagement ring on the Julia Roberts finger. At 134 is the leap to the 34, the energetic exchange, the 8 of Wands, with the 6 of the contract and the 1 of the sun prior to that, and 61 coming up there, which is the risk card, and the 49 of the angel of love, the 18 of anxiety, and the 15 of appreciation. After the sun's contract, or 61, or after, Gemini times 2, or twins, contract is up, and time in the sun, getting their wish, angel of love, and moon child with anxieties, or 2 daughters with dark mother, or water kids, 1 with open heart and 1 with fears with Capricorn, or Gemini or Capricorn, or Cancer Capricorn contract is now complete. At 138, the leap to the Queen of Cups and the 29 of the world, which is the 3 of Wands, and the world, present to the gift of earth from off-planet perspective. A woman with 1 flower and 1 planet seeing another planet flower, as the 5 of attachment and removing the mask and chains, and the 30 of union and home, the garden and the gate, a safe house or place, kept out or staying in, both can be prisons, freedom and stability, and the dance between self and the collective within and free without. Again, perhaps 2 gifts and a mother here, possibly a boy as well at a distance. With transition through financial constraints, with the 45 of the man holding the heart that was hidden beneath the Page of Wands and their hostilities, with sword in hand, and now the 37 King of Cups, and 3rd chakra Archangel Shamuel, and shining their light, with 3 keys, or the tree house, or the tree of life, Capricorn, Taurus, Scorpio, perhaps Aries here, fighting towards the North Node on July 18th, 23 at 147, which is the masculine or magician, and that 47 of the heart to the crown, or the 7 of Cups. The underlying energy of the broken ring after the secret's kept, and someone thinking of you, with angels watching and happiness of the sun and birds. And I just then asked Teddy what birds were telling him. The weeping willow and the family sorrow, or mountain road to success with strong emotion of fire. A fan, a rat, romance, celebration, and a rat in your midst. With the rainbow forest goldfish, where the worst is over, transiting the rainbow bridge. But at the end, it's muddled and unclear thinking, but also an increase in material wealth and our spiritual growth. With the gold fish, but I'm also getting the finish line of the gold. The money path is waiting for you to find it, with a leg and a boat and grapes, stepping into the new or onto a boat, an ark, or money or property through inheritance, winning or windfall. Time to go out and have fun, with the underlying energy at 154, the Page of Swords, and the dark woman using their intuition. In April, a bat was working against you. July with four-leaf clover and great luck, and the dog barking with advice from a good friend, and major challenge to overcome with older man, perhaps in September, trying to see the forest through the trees. At the September full moon, opportunity knocks, with not just a bell, but a gong and an exciting event. With two cards here, the yoke and the gavel, feeling tied down or frustrated, with gavel or involvement with the law or just legal paperwork. And for example, in September, my license expires, so I have to get it renewed, and perhaps other legal paperwork. But the underlying energy here is the Two of Cups and the King of Swords, partnering with the King of Swords and the Nine of Wands, Nine of Cups, and Nine of Pentacles, with wounded warrior protection or guardian for the Nine of Pentacles and Nine of Cups, or injured parties here, and the King of Cups receiving the Knight of Wands and the Page of Cups, or the youngest child or grown child King of Pentacles coming in to help or cover them, or the King of Pentacles and Knight of Cups offering love to the Magician and or Gemini or Virgo, Queen of Swords, or adding to the evidence, emotions at play. So the King of Pentacles and Knight of Cups, Magician and Queen of Swords, speaking to or for the Queen of Wands, to the Page of Swords, or the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands are there with the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands kids, excited to see the world or travel, or see the Divine Feminine or Pisces lover, or just one of great affection, or Divine Feminines learning their talents, like speaking versus inspiring, or, one being more physical or passionate as opposed to speaking, or perhaps some doing grid work. Pisces or Gemini or neighborly twins, and the Knight of Pentacles moving on to help, work, or propose, and perhaps all stressed out. Dark Knight to propose to the Queen of Pentacles, or the Knight of Pentacles to surrender and apologize to the Queen of Pentacles, perhaps with a Scorpio here. At 209, the High Priestess and the Hermit, with the High Priestess with Hermit's light or advice, and the King of Wands looking on, or the Big Gong, or Gong Show, or watching game shows, as the Queen of Pentacles, Virgo, High Priestess, Pisces, or Cancer, and Hermit with light on at the door to guide you through with the King of Wands, or the Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess, or Higher Self, and the Hermit, King of Wands, or Quiet One, getting unsolicited advice. At 212 is the Divine Feminine and the Hanging Man, where we have the Page of Pentacles, Two of Wands, the Empress, and the Six of Cups. Maybe an invite or opportunity or chance to study with the Twin Flame, the Empress offering a choice to the Page of Pentacles, or the King of Wands to Virgo, who's curious about what their offer was, as the Empress with kids, or the King of Wands and Mother may be soulmates, or this could be King of Wands and an older woman who are soulmates, and that could be a twin as well. With Justice, the Emperor, and the Knight of Swords, as the Justice and Emperor, or Libra and Aries, come in with a charge or delivery messenger, with news or info for the Redcoats or court, that the Queen of Cups is free or set free by their delivery, as the Devil steps up or takes the witness stand, or the Queen of Cups is temptation waves, or Capricorn. Taurus, Pisces, Virgo, or Libra, Aries, and Capricorn here. Someone may have passed peacefully with nurse or hospice, with doctor coming in to pronounce, and the King of Wands to witness perhaps and pay as the Empress's instructions. And that could be, you know, I'm sorry if someone passed, but it was something expected. And it may actually be a relief because they may have been suffering. So then we have here, we have the Lenormand Kipper deck at the top. It's a combined deck with the Lenormand, Reverie, and Kipper. And then we have the my half deck, and then the tea leaves, and then the Wild Unknown Animal Tarot. Okay, and that was from today, I believe. Or yesterday, rather. All right, so, and V keeps coming up too, and it can be an Aries energy, but V for victory comes up, and the 3 keys, the spear and arrow, and again, that energy of putting your hand up to stop or halt. The 2-faced cat keeps coming up a lot, and again, someone who may be arrogant, right? Be careful of them. Roses and butterflies are coming up as really good energy around the house or yard. And to call a spade was also coming up. So again, the M in May, the V was coming up as the middle of the M. And again, that's that co-creation energy, 1v1. And also 1v1 was coming up as Fonzie's A. So V is for vine. Seek out information to help you. And again, the tortoise who may be slow but surely getting ahead with a Cain perhaps. Or is Cain of Cain and Abel reforming themselves or eating too much sugar? Or Kung Fu who walks slowly on purpose with recognition and reward for merit, perhaps a fruit basket. But 3 blind mice are not happy with that. So in getting into this read that I just showed you, we start at 542 to 546, the 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 5 of Cups, and 6 of Cups. The cards at the end came up to 42121 and 1220221, but that could also be referenced as 122121. The Emperor with 2 worlds, 1221, with 202 between, which is another route that's not far from where I am. This also could be 2 worlds or 2 relationships. In the lambda or lamb father leap to 1, which is the H in the 8, with wise judgment, the wake-up call to the divine feminine and or the world. With the 2 of Cups, 121, hanging out with 202, which is 2 to 2, with space between, and the masculine to masculine with mediation, feminine to feminine with source intervention. Someone's bass was just, I'm feeling like their bass as they're driving by now. Can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that, but it's a very deep bass. And that's interesting too, because I was just watching someone singing and the guy had a beautiful, very, very deep voice. I don't know if I've ever heard a voice that deep. And there's a plane flying over right now too, so there's a lot going on. So after the masculine to masculine with mediation and the feminine to feminine with source intervention, all 0, 1, 2s, and 4s with the divine masculine, divine feminine in lambda leap to source. All 12s and 21s, or 1 2s and 2 1s, in the 4th quarter. 2023 with the King of Wands and Innocence and the Page of Cups deposit, and that was coming up as the Holy Communion. And 2024 is the Queen of Wands and the Holy Grail with the Ace of Cups. And there's this whole thing that was coming up regarding the 1221s each year from 2020 through to 2025, which would be the 9, because 1221 adds up to 33, and then the year adds up to 6, 7, 8, 9, 2022 to 25. So finding his balance to deposit in her cup 337 to 338, which then combines as 3378, the 7 of Wands of the Christ vibration, the 10 of Pentacles of the end of the deck in Heaven on Earth. The unity consciousness in Heaven on Earth, 12, 21, 22 to 12, 21, 25, leads into 2026, where 12, 21, 2026 is the 43 of the 3 of Cups and coming together in joy. in the 698 pod with the 7 key, which is this year. So the key is collected this year in 23. 2027 is then 1221 is 2027 becomes 44, which is the Hercules energy of her harvest. And then we start at 610, which is my mother's birthday, my grandfather, I think 2 of my grandfather's birthdays. It wasn't my grandfather. So one of my grandfathers and my great-grandfather, David Lubin, his birthday was June 10th? Yeah. And then my father's father, who wasn't his biological father, was June 10th. The underlying energy is 32 of despair, the devil of 15, the bag and the crown, the dragonfly and the journey of the pear and temptation waving, a bag left on the bench, and crown. Dark night of the soul, weighed down by the crown and the mind, tempted to take the money, the deal, to get the respect and honor you deserve, in a beautiful mind, fluttering and light, dragon of the drag on and fly, 2 hearts as one, as the stick that gracefully lands on a plant, pulsing ba-bum, ba-bum, in the journey of despair, tied to the devil by money and status, the master of light and illusion, the need to still the mind so the wisdom can shine through at 619, which is the lovers and the sun. And I'm getting I love you again as well. And there was confirmation. The underlying energy of 22 in the official person, and 14 of the fox wounded warrior, and the 32 of the journey of the subconscious and romance, with the 8 of cups within, the 10 of cutting to the chase and destined page of pentacles, the curious one, and the king of cups with timelines or 3 keys on a journey of despair and or the pair. The moon and the scythe back to back here. As Cupid's arrow strikes, by the way, that card keeps coming up as the underlying energy every time I pull from the heart deck. Cupid's arrow strikes. And the country of France literally was looking like an elephant carrying luggage on its back for me. Bridging between Spain and Europe as the elephant faces Spain. And at 623 is the lovers and the king of wands, Sagittarius leaving Aries, or the hen house behind, for romance within in the high vibe fields, without on the multidimensional or multiple timelines and or parallel realities, for the journey of despair or the pair to play out. Aries, Saggy, Libra, and the 36 of the Atlas cross, the burden of hanging the map or having the map to share, and the Southern Cross was coming up there, the 36 and the 35, and we always talk about the 36 of Atlas leaving the 35 wounded warrior behind, the map and the path, the dark night of the soul, lined with butterflies and transformation, or Southern France. So then Marseille was coming up because there's another Marseille that's with a C, M-A-R-C-A-I-S, which is in the middle of the state, or excuse me, the country. And it's like halfway between Paris and Toulouse. And Les Renauds was in there too, like Reynauds. The Department of Cher is Marseille with a C. And the region center, that was significant. And the zip code was 18136, coded also INSEE, I-N-S-E-E, but also code 18170. And so when I was getting the center, this one, the longitude was 2 degrees 2214 east. So then I was looking for the connection to that. So it had me go through this kind of chase that I spent hours on last night as I was looking at some of the B&Bs in that location at 702. One was the Chambre of the Hotel au Chateau de Preville, and then another B&B, M4 Duberry, 25 Rue Docteur Vallée. So Marseille was broken up into Mar, which of course is the sea, and then CAIS also is CAS, which means twisted, winding, curly, or complicated. Also, the apricot, wharf, and pier came up. The trunk, call, quest, and claim, to seek, attempt, search for, ask, fetch, endeavor, to try, possess, and in a lesser sense, cheese, and to fall, drop, and collapse. The sea of the quest, the twisted, curly sea, and also the language of the sea, which is the seaman. Yeah, that's kind of profound right there. So Marseille has the little squiggly below the sea, just like Francais. And again, the language of France. So the Marseille was coming up as the language of the sea. 32, 36, 35, and 36 were coming up with the Cathar's path of the wounded warrior to the sea. And the Cathar's castle was burned to the ground by the Catholic Church. And actually the day I was in the south of France with Mercedes Kerkel was the year that the Catholic Church apologized to the Cathars for the first time. So the energy of the Cathar's path of the wounded warriors to the sea without a sea, and there was a puzzle, right? The sea without a sea is the Christ vibration. The distant horizon also, where ships fly, between two Atlas mountains, through the woods to grandmother's house. The journey with a map of intent to the center of the earth, which was coming up as the 0-degree longitude line. So Henri de Toulouse, which I assume Toulouse was named after him, some of his paintings came up, and all the hats in his paintings looked just like that top hats I keep getting recently. Plus, when I was in Charlotte and we did a ghost tour, I got this one picture of a public building, and there was, if you looked at the picture, the front door, it was like a ton of people in black and white with like top hats and stuff in there. But there was, it was empty. So, but again, this energy was coming up here of time gone by, and they may be telling me that that was the energy of Toulouse. Maybe he was there at that event in Charlotte for whatever reason. I don't know. But the energy of Charlotte, and that could be Emperor Charlotte or Queen Charlotte, and again, Charlotte is in succession for the throne. And then Toulouse can be to lose, which also came up very significantly, and I have a friend named Luz, so that's why I noticed it, but then it became a really big deal. So Toulouse is also to lose, L-U-Z, and again, Toulouse is at 1 degree longitude, so I was trying to see if I could find where it was 0 degrees, and of course I knew it was going to take me to the Atlas Mountains in Morocco and Algeria. And Lourdes was 0 degree also, but also 3 inches west. But I got closer than that. But Lourdes was at 0 degree, as well as Tarbes, T-A-R-B-E-S, and Marmande and Le Mans, like Le Mans. That came up at 0 degree as well. All right, so Luz, Saint Sauveur, is at 0 degrees 0036 west. And nothing got closer than Luz, okay? I'm sorry, it was 002 west, like 0 degrees, 00 feet, and then 2 inches, like really on spot, Luz. Saint Sauveur. The Church of Saint Andre, also known as Les Templiers, Chateau Saint Marie, and Spa district there. Mountains to the east, west, and south, so protected on 3 sides, and only a half hour from Lourdes. This is Luz. The Templars, which were the Hospitaliers of St. John of Jerusalem, which I read about before, they came up in a different area though, was built around the church to protect Luz from attack by Spanish bandits called the Irregulars. A large ditch surrounded the church, crossed by a drawbridge, and there's that energy too. Like, it doesn't say it was a moat, it said it was a ditch, and that's the energy of the hammock being bridged over the ditch. A few years later, Chapel Notre Dame de la Piété was built to end the Black Plague around 1650. It took 2 years to build the Napoleon Bridge, which is also one of the sites there in Luz Saint-Sauveur. That was June 1861, so there's 61 again. 68 meters long, which is the Page of Pentacles. Napoleon III loved the Pyrenees and stayed there with the Empress Eugenie. End of the bridge. At the end of the bridge, in honor of the emperor's stay there, I guess to get him back again, they erected a 12-meter high column topped by a colossal eagle. End. 14 rings of Lord's stone. The eagle was marble, and 14 meters total. To their imperial, this is the quote, was to their imperial majesties Napoleon III and Empress Eugenie, the inhabitants of Luz Saint-Sauveur, is grateful. And that was inaugurated 9/1863. So I was getting the center of the earth. Where else was I getting? So literally what was coming up, the Cather's path of the wounded warrior to the sea without a sea, the distant horizon where ships fly, between two Atlas mountains through the woods to grandmother's house. It doesn't have to be grandmother's house. I was getting grandmother's house. The journey with a map of intent to the center of the earth, or 0 degrees longitude, and then that's when Toulouse came up, or Toulouse. The center of the earth. So then I went into Morocco and Algeria to see where I found the same 0 longitude. And again, the energy of to praise the middle, Mohammedia came up as one of the cities with 35 degree, 35 north, and then 0 degrees, 4 foot east was Mohammedia, which was significant. And plus that's the wounded warrior energy of 35 and 35. And it literally translates to praise the middle. And Mo is also the mountain, the word, the road, and the path, the now moment, just now. The female bamboo, and to a greater degree. The sandy field, and mu, and one. So again, the Pleiades coming up with that as well, the one. So Between Two Worlds by Atlas Prato also came up. The parallel realms of humans and vampires, where Ven is unique. He's 2 different species living in both worlds. 2 humans go missing near the portal connecting those realms. So that came up as well. Over the mountain and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. And someone's blog came up there, captureessenceblog.wordpress.com. And it looked like they were tracking a marriage. And a 2-letter phrase that begins in A and ends in E, which is the A and the E is the ash, the Adam and the Eve. And then at 10:08, which again referencing the 10,800 years, and the Chai energy of the 10th and 8th letters of the Hebrew alphabet, the mountain was coming up as Adrar and Adras, the Berber mountains. And the middle atlas, which is Morocco, came up, and then the story about how the mountains formed. So apparently, the lower Atlas Mountains in Morocco were formed from the Appalachian Mountains here, because Africa and America crashed, pushing the mountains inward, as the anti-Atlas Mountains in Africa, or Morocco, and the Allegheny, or Appalachians in North America, were the same mountains, along with the continental shelf. Major fault dividing line between the Allegheny Plateau and the true Appalachian Mountains are in Williamsport, PA. The folds were created and faults through Pennsylvania and fades at the New York border. The worst damages were North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia, which also came up. Appalachian is likely... the Appalachians were once similar to the Alps or Rockies, but because of the crash everything changed and they became more like shelves as opposed to peaked mountains. So North America and Euramerica also was a supercontinent, and Africa part of the Gondwana. Pangea broke up and the Atlantic Ocean began to form. So remember I'm saying that because, right, the Atlantic Ocean literally came down and split, right, the strait between Africa and Europe became there because they were attached before, and the Atlantic Ocean coming down between Americas and Africa and Europe also wasn't there before. So the crash of Africa and America was about 325 to 260 million years ago, and then around 66 to 1.8 million years ago is when Europe and Africa collided at the Ibero Peninsula. High Atlas and closure of strait. Sorry about that. So High Atlas and the closure of the Strait of Gibraltar, the Alps and the Pyrenees. Deep processes in the Earth's mantle may have contributed to the uplift of High and Middle Atlas mountains. Rich in iron ore, lead ore, copper, mercury, rock salt, silver, phosphate, marble, and others, natural gas. Jebel Bani was the lower range along the south side of the anti-Atlas mountains. And the hydroelectric dam came up as well, which is an artificial lake at Lala Taker Kust. And there was another one also called Imlil, like I am Lil. Middle Atlas, Morocco, north of High Atlas, separated by the Mulanya and Ria rivers. So that one was significant because it literally means mother of springtime. And it's 555 kilometers long, which is 345 miles. And it has 6 dams. Also, the Rift Mountain came up as significant. That's at 35 degrees north, 4 degrees west. And then the Mount Atlas came up, which is actually in Antarctica. So Mount Atlas is 72 degrees, 44 south, and 165 degrees, 30 east. An extinct volcanic cone, northeast Mount Pleiades in the Pleiades, Victoria Land in Antarctica. And then the Tell Mountains in Algeria, and they extend into Morocco as well, were right at 36 degrees, which is Atlas. So the Tell Atlas Mountain was at 36 degrees, which is Atlas, 00 north, 2 degrees 00 east, like right on. And that's Lala Khedija, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And then the city of Constantine also came up at 36 degrees 21 and 6 degrees 36, so a lot of Atlas energy there too in Algeria. The Shelif River came up with the mouth at the Mediterranean Sea. It was also 36 222 and 0 degrees 759. And the city Mecheria, Mecheria, was 33 north and 0 degrees 17 west. And again, the 1964 quarter came up. So those were the really significant places that came up. And so I looked up Mech from that city. And Mech means moss. And again, moss keeps coming up repeatedly, and algae, those kind of things, is very important, what we're going to learn from them. And the ram, sheep, fleece, wool, sheepskin, bag, and bellows, and fire. And area 1964 came up, and the quarter. So I told you that the France was coming up as looking like an elephant carrying bags, like you would see in Africa. And of course, Italy is the boot. Spain and Morocco were coming up as kissing cousins, but Spain also looks like a shirt. Morocco came up for me as the seahorse. The Rif Mountain as the wounded warrior, the Tel Mountain as Atlas. So Atlas is leaving the wounded warrior behind. So there may be something that happens between Tel and Rif in Africa. And the sea without a sea is the sea of Christ consciousness. And then Luz, which was like 42 to 43, and then 0 degrees longitudinally. Grandmother's house could be coming up as that Fia river, the mother of springtime. And then I got it. So as soon as that came up, it was the Atlantic Ocean, right? Over the mountains and through the woods to grandmother's house we go. And so over the river and through the woods was the Atlantic Ocean and the Gibraltar Strait as the Y in the road, making its way to Antarctica and Atlas. Mount Atlas. How crazy is that? Grandmother's house. And it's called Pleiades. So that was crazy. Okay. So, and it's also called Victoria Land. So Victory and Antarctica is ant, so the ant people, the ark, and then Tika is source, and then the CA. And then the Luz, so Luz, the town Luz came up, but also Luz is the small bone in the human spinal column, believed in Muslim and Jewish traditions to be indestructible, from which the body will be rebuilt at resurrection. The almond tree, white light, bright, idle, free time, spacious place, enlightenment, electricity, point of view, and understanding. And this is Luz, L-U-Z. And so there's debate on whether the Luz actually means the atlas bone at the top or the coccyx, the tailbone, which actually is shaped like the cobra's head. So there's a lot of significance to the name Luz. To be on the cross, as in the 10 of Wands or the Atlas energy, means it's over, but the 9 of Wands, and you can still keep going if you surrender to the final flame. From the cross to the ark, over the rainbow. And the Southern Cross was coming up earlier. The 25 of the Knight of Wands and the ring. And the 44 of the magnifying glass. The 11 of the 777 and the full house and sudden wealth. The 24 of the thief who stole Christmas, who was the Grinch. And the ruby ring inspired by the almond, which is Luz. And the exclamation point, where X marks the spot. And remember, the opposite of the exclamation point is the lowercase I, which is the chakra system and the third eye. Examining the Queen of Wands, the 24 of the Pleiades, in the place of their place in the family tree, her harvest, or Hercules, and the 11777, the full house, aligning with supernova. 7 times 3 equals 21. And 3 plus 7 is the keys as well. 3, 7 keys to win. 3 sevens are the key to win. The Knight of Wands, you got to play to win. Again, talking about being a child again, play. The flame harvesting wealth as the 25 Knight of Wands and the 24 Queen of Wands with the looking glass and the key to win. And the looking glass can reference the crystal ball. Play, P-L-A-Y, play with the 2544 of the Knight of Wands and Hercules, her harvest, which equals 69. And the 1124, which is Justice and the Queen of Wands, which equals the Wounded Warrior, 35, offering the Wounded Warrior a new life. The 44 and the 11 is 55 of the truth, and the 25 and the 24 equals the 49 of getting your wish with the truth. On 5/15/23. At 12:05 midnight, the 41 and the 4 came up, and the Well of the Holy Grail, and the Emperor's Courtship. The number 414 coming up, which in Gematria was exit. Yeah. America first, and the Torah code. And that's all I need, said the jerk. So with 9 and 7 and the Hermit's change and the Chariot's message, and 1997 coming up there, which is when my daughter was just 1, actually when I separated. Hermiting changes breaking the seal, the 25 of high honor of the Knight of Wands, and 3 cannon salute. 15 and 18 of the polar bear, 10 of Wands, and the 10 of Cups of the Page of Cups. And this was the date today, the 15th. With the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Cups, Capricorn and Cancer, mother and pup, pushing them to walk themselves instead of them having to take them. The reference to, the children becoming independent. The 38 of the Queen of Cups and the twin bridges to cross at 12:33, which is Jesus on the cross. The underlying energy of the Queen of Wands, Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Knight of Swords, with the Queen of Wands inviting as the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, High Priestess, to deliver the Queen of Swords, to talk to the Empress about the Knight of Cups, offering to the King of Swords with the Hermit's advice, or Taurus and Virgo to the King of Swords for the Queen of Swords, or Taurus, Knight of Cups, and Capricorn, King of Wands, intervening on Virgo, King of Swords. Perhaps they're interviewing them as well. Or the Queen of Wands invites the Queen of Cups and their sister, or Pisces, as the Knight of Swords and Queen of Swords divide and conquer with invites, and they're all coming for the King of Swords. As the devil, the one, the Knight of Wands, the Page of Cups in the world, with temptation to wave at the journeyman, and the Knight of Wands rushing in with the Page of Cups, Sagittarius and Pisces to Capricorn perhaps, the journeyman tied down as the lovers leap, the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Cups soulmates, but the King of Cups is sleepy or stressed, thinking about traveling with the Emperor. The Dark Knight and the Queen of Pentacles, Sovereign and 2 of Cups, with Pisces, Cancer, Aries, Scorpio, and Earth. The Justice and Fool, Magician and Twin Flames, Libra, Aries, Gemini, or Virgo, with choice to make. As the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands are ready to go, the King of Pentacles and Wounded Warrior are annoyed, but the King of Pentacles is satisfied with themselves. 2 by 2, stressed. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 are happy and moving along. At the 11th hour, 12:59, as staff support when in a pinch, spiritual love and lightheartedness, carefree time and unsuccessful plans, but new plans are in the bag. The purse and the younger woman, and pay attention to your finances, with wall of misunderstanding. On the other side is the frying pan. The wedge, the coins are coming, the horseshoe, luck, and the fox who's shrewd and wears a crown, the crib, conception or birth, and the shark attack if you don't take care of yourself. Feathers, someone you know that's undependable and insincere, with 2 cards at the end here of 51st dates, reconciliation, and the archway of possibilities, paths opening up as the bridge opens to wise person's advice, and the underlying energy of the Scorpion with stinger out, and the owl and fox, the camel spaced out, Scorpio to office of dragonfly, or Scorpio, of course, of beautiful mind, butterfly, stingray, and hawk, transforming, activating, and plugging in to the hawk who's clearing the runway for landing. Cobra's the lookout. And then right at that moment, Teddy went to the front window to be the lookout at 1:16, which is the masculine energy and the tower event. Okay. So this is the last one. This is a shorter one. And then we have the read on the table, which is real quick. So we have Romance Angels there at the top. And we have my animal deck here, which I don't always use in these reads. And then we have the Wild Animal Guidebook. And then my half deck of Rider-Waite. And this was today from 1 o'clock to 1:03. And prior to that, the energy of whale sounds came up, where they were testing, that Sam said that that was the sounds from them testing crossing the veil, the boom. And so the Appalachian Mountains came up, as I just talked to you about, and how the 2 continents split. And I was called to break down Appalachian, which comes up as Apple and Asian or Asian. So a lot about Chinese, China, and Asian energies coming up here. But also Haitian came up, and the original story or the myth of ancient Greece, the cause. Appalachian was also coming up as a plea and cause or story. It was coming up as associated with Southeast Asian nations, or SEA, or Haitian, the original story of a people, a plea. I give, I have, I take, a plea, and people, or to the people. And then AI also came up in some of the variations, and that means penis in Appalais, A-P-A-L-A-I is the language. Sloths and waters, and then the penis came up with the tyon, the tiger lioness, or the source connection. In a tyon or source connection, the tiger lioness, with sloths, water people, fire people, and ground people, which can be construed as earth people, but there weren't any wind people here. Only the owie people, which could be construed as the wind people, who copulate. I, as in myself, or I as in the eye, the seed in the headlight, high, tall, friend, which can reference Pleiadians, his, hers, and theirs, and yeah, three-toed and pale-throated, right? They don't talk, and maybe they have three toes, or three toes that stay together. The grief and the beauty, love and affection, and 1/10 billionth came up of mutually togetherness, the interval of time and space, leisure time between, and the ant, as in the ant people as well, that keep coming up with Michael Sala and JP from the arcs. So the last one I just showed you, from 1 to 103, the numbers at the end came up as 1211 and 13812. So 1211 came up from Gematria as Charles Schwab, 111, and a man of wisdom. 13812, you can look up on your own if you want to see. There was some interesting information there, but they're long, so you can go up ahead and read them yourself if you'd like. 13812. Wise co-creation with the Queen of Cups, hanging out with the gate holders, with co-creation with the Queen of Cups in the middle. Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, Justice, transitioning dance to the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, or themselves. And the underlying energy of staying optimistic about your love life with the Two of Cups lovebirds, the Sea Serpent, or sacral energy, and the Knight of Pentacles, where she offers a gift from the heart to one who's shy with support for the lovebirds, in a seal that was broken as the Knight of Pentacles steps up as the loyal, humble servant. And I smelled perfume right then. Divine timing here and worth waiting for. Healing family issues and forgiving your parents, as positive thinking brings romance here. And by the way, Appalachian also came up as on high, the highest top. So that was pretty cool. To surrender on high, Appalachian. Or to cease to exist, that disappearing act, right, as you raise your vibration. Very cool. And today's energies came up as the 15 of the devil, and then the day adds up to 27, which is the Ace of Wands. So at 1, 2, 3, jump of attraction and reconciliation. Enjoy the moment fully as someone from your past is returning to your life. With heart-to-heart conversations and focusing on finances and career. At 125, which is the Knight of Wands, the underlying energy was the Pelican with the Two of Wands. Your vision, creativity, and dedication have brought you to great success. With the Grounder and the Flyer, may be needed here to get a partner to assist. The Four of Cups of the Tortoise, who's slow to notice their gifts. With the 10, and that can be God's gifts. The 10 of the Wheel and the Reindeer, or Caribou. Caribou also comes up as carry your boo. And sudden change that moves wheel forward with great progress. As the Empress, number 3, is the Angora rabbit, hops into action to use their natural creativity to bring forth prosperity with the 7 of the Chariot and the Arabian horses. And that could be the Chariots of Fire as well. Alchemizing opposing energies through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition you're receiving as the twin flames are grounding, integrating, and mastering as the wheel moves forward after the traffic jam. As the Empress in her chariot whizzes by with 28, 44, 10, 3, and 7, the twin flames with her harvest, destined high vibe with 3 keys, the 3 and the 7, and the King of Cups of unconditional love, where CB code 10-3 means shut up, stop transmitting. as 10-37 means wrecker needed at, or someone needs a tow. And then my toes were coming up. And again, that was my first guide connection, was my toes. As the King of Swords, humpback whale, who's very professional, impartial, and unemotional, if you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert for the Two of Cups lovebirds who are falling in love, deepening a relationship, or saving ones in distress. One pelicans are now lovebirds. And again, I did a past life reading where I told her all about my pelican life. That was really cool. So the 4 energy of the Emperor and the sweet mouse, don't be afraid to take the lead. And I was getting a dear moose letter. It's not going to be a dear mouse or dear moose letter. With flowers in hand, as the 10 of Swords Siberian Husky is waiting for you to take the reins at the end of the career path and or relationship. Perhaps a mouse and a dog make friends, or the Emperor's bliss, perhaps to train a fire dog. As the King of Cups penguin enters your life, who's warm, devoted, loving, and faithful. With the 4 of Wands, 5 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords, we're 2 otters in union, where it's time to kick back and enjoy home life, as the collie dog may be a tug of war, or 2 dogs at play while you guys relax. In the ocean, lake, or pool, post-war or virus or inner life, as the magpie may be hoarding your stuff, even a key that you can't find may be in the nest, or pup's toy bin. Be aware of what they or others are doing to get your attention behind your back, or 2 fighting over their stuff. Perhaps there's a third party who will step in and hold it, or perhaps they will take it, so be careful. Or while 2 in a tug of war, the key to the issue is right there if you would just stop and notice the bird holding it. At 150 is the masculine and the 10 of Cups of the ultimate happy fulfillment, the underlying energy of the dear one after butterfly transforming, activity and plugged in, or fully connected now. The hawk clears the way for Mr. Ed as the carpenter bee hovers, and the rabbit who says, I'm afraid, keeled over. Dear John, dear one, the event is happening. Cells approaching the center from miles around to see the show. Bee, bunny, and doe and rabbit ears, as bee notices they have no ears, like the horse, the rabbit, and the deer. Like bees or ants to honey here, or cells to a wound, audience to a show, or drivers to an accident. The Lion King remains calm and dressed with beautiful locks until they get the area blocked off and sealed to purify the area. From stallion or stall lion to ganglion or gang lion, the horse's ass and the lion's tigress, river of tears. The lion in the stall at the ticket office and the gang of lions in line to arc 2 by 2 to get on board. Protecting the sacred sacral juices, like beetle juices, and their Bella's tricks. The trill of the 9 or arc to the X, the Crazy Eights dance and exchanging of DNA strands. With the frog in the rain and Roger that, as the star of the show emotes. And I got big connection right there with the emote. And others wanting to hook up with that train. The frog longs for the starfish and closes the deal. The sea serpent's sacral is now closed and sealed. No one else allowed in. The concert's full and we must begin. Heart to heart, and it's good to be king. Now don't be petty or doubting Thomas, as the cosmic egg is here. The crown of all crowns, or the crowd of all crowds. Concert in the rounds. Collective harmonizing with the snake, allowing it to surrender and overcome them, to have and to hold and be them. The bee tells the geise of Betelgeuse, and the bell rings, trill 9 and 10 to begin again, transcending the tower as the Lord of the Rings, as cobra, unicorn, and buffalo cover and focus, drill horn and buffet, as Warren discusses EVs and remains calm without worry, cobras on alert and unicorns ready to drill off planet, And Buffalo Bill's new Alpha receiver as Gates receives honorary doctorate from Northern Arizona University. The play for Caesar. Buffalo Bill's Musk, Buff Elon at the gate. And the web of WEB, Warren, Elon, and Bill, and BMG, or BM of Gates. Yes, that would be the anus, Uranus and Aquarius, intellect, and the emotion of laughter, laughter all the way, ha ha ha, as Tarantula or Tara, and Tula, or Tula, 2 6 lovers, or 2 angels. At the new moon holding water, and the hyena slithering away on the fence, or at mid-moon, or the new moon in June, back to back, Sunday, June 18th, 23 to July 18th, 23, when the nodes switch places. At 2, 3, 4, shut the door of the buck and the sturgeon moons, where the path your energy is on, channeling, drilling, and grounding the sticky web and the nest egg, dry hump and grayer, where the desert is the easy route, and hyena is the root of the most high, of the one, and 2 as 1. So again, you might need to change your perspective on the best way to get there, right? Might be to go through it, the stuff that you don't approve of, right? So at 1240 is that divine feminine energy in the Page of Cups, as the underlying energy here is the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles, the High Priestess and the Sovereign and Sister, or Virgo and Pisces with the Knight of Swords, delivery or deliverance. As the 2 of Cups partnering with the King of Pentacles, and the Emperor's irritated while traveling in defensive driver, or a death that occurred, and this could be something that happened a long time ago too, due to 2 arguing on the road. Or the King of Pentacles may be small potatoes to the Emperor and his heavy artillery, and showing him his big guns, as death or dark night becomes her, the Queen of Cups and Waterworks, with Virgo, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio here, with the Knight of Cups and no sleep or stress between the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, or needless worry, as the Knight of Cups to Knight of Wands, or meeting halfway, to give them a gift or sudden shift from the Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups, with stress to the Knight of Wands and Queen of Wands, and the 6 of Cups between them, or the Knight of Wands and Queen of Wands are standing guard, so that the Queen of Cups and Knight of Cups can come together and love. Or the Knight of Wands leaves kids with the Queen of Wands at the magic show, or to manifest with two options given to them, or offered by Divine Feminine or Pisces or world at large. Or the Queen of Wands watches as a magician with 1 DNA wand, and the Twin Flame Divine Feminine with 2 DNA wands, marching to the beat of their own drum. The Divine Lover of the Beloved and the Knight of Pentacles, humble loyal servant, approaches the King of Wands, with fire in Isis, and Gemini or Virgo and Pisces, and grounded Knight, comes forward to the King of Wands with offer too good to be true, or one that they can't resist, and tempted to respond and step up to the plate, or admitting their part in hitting a home run, and message returned, or Knight of Pentacles asking Father for the Queen of Pentacles' hand. Now, wait a minute. And then shout comes, shout, put your hands up now and shout, a little bit louder and a little bit softer now, as the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords are sent to their corners. She blue and he without color, perhaps cold as ice or stone. Justice or Libra with opportunity for the King of Cups, or with Page of Pentacles, child or seed. As the Queen of Swords judge speaks, as the King of Cups and Empress must listen here, as the Hermit sheds light on anything they don't understand, or on the long way down, or at night searching for clues or answers, or searching the grounds, or snow and ice for something they lost, or frozen in time. The old statue that holds the light, so others can be clear or see clearly now that the rain has gone. In the mist, and gorillas in the mist, that's us, the foghorns blow, there she goes, as the Page of Wands and Page of Cups, both happy and free, At last, the fools leap, with loyal consort, advisor, and friend, one with love and heart, and one with the light holding space at 303, Libra, Taurus, Virgo, and Aries here. So 2 3s with space between. So now go back to the read on the table real quickly. We'll do that. It's only a page or so, so it's not long. If I can get back there. Where are you? Okay, here we go. Look at Teddy's face. He's so cute. And the mother came up at the top of that page. So this read on the table was cut at 9 o'clock on the 12th. 9 o'clock on the dot. And at 9:11, I finished clarifying in the emergency. With the star, abundance, guidance, and after the deck was karma, or after the read. And we had the King of Wands and the 9 of Swords as the characters in the read. And before the read, the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles came up. We had 3 10s, 2 6s, 7s, and 8s. So 6, 7, 8, lay them straight. And the triple 10s is super high vibration. Also 1 4 with the Temperance card, the Angels, and Patience and Higher Love. 45 of the 5 of Cups, 56 of the 2 of Swords. 89, which for me is Phi energy. That expansion, contraction, staying in the middle, reflecting. And the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, 77 the Sovereign, 88 of the Twins dancing side by side. And then the 9, 10, which is begin again, and keeping that high vibration, keep coming back to your heart in the present moment. The code line was all about even of crystals. Crystals is time, money, and energy, or crystals, or being Christ-like and being even, equal, or balanced. The number that came up on the code line was 19 from 5, 8, and 6. The after-death moral man, Sophia says, 5 power up, ice, with the 8, of course, and the journeyman, who's even of crystals, or balanced. Someone attesting could be coming up here. Somebody could be bearing witness without the Tor, without being pure or unadulterated. The holy place of offering now, 9 or 2, souls even or balanced. The day comes up here too, and then the 88 dance of the twin flames. With good news, or 8 offices to even the score. I was just getting Jack be nimble, Jack be quick again too. Jack jumped over the candlestick. The after death Tessa, or to weave or plot. To change, that could be advertisement as well. Change or power up the now moment. The strong ice by walking away and then leading the way. To even the E-tower, then becomes balanced. Even in the E-tower there, they can be balanced. The witness without the Tor. And Safi Veni came up, solely to come up or come-uppins, and then the as the 8 of Cups, 6 of Wands, and 7 of Pentacles, the leaving or walking away from success, reputation, or to keep and reap rewards and balance your crystals. So the energy of the underlying energy of the lion and the Tyon of the tiger lioness, and then again the date of 5/14, which it was yesterday. A mountain of money and 1 ring or door, perhaps marriage at the door. Dark man and chain of events, or rose and bird, romance and waiting for news, letter or package. As we start with the 10 of Pentacles here, and the Knight of Cups reversed, who may be jealous or rejected. So jealous of the 10 of Cups, or rejected by them, or getting away or running away from the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the 10 of Pentacles reversed here. So we've got the Montagues and the Capulets here, where the Montagues aren't doing well, but the Capulets are. Burdened by Atlas or Judge, working for justice, to surrender 9 or those 10 wands, or be single or sovereign out of the blue, and or sudden event, epiphany, or crown blown or top, or work that is mind-blowing. The world of the divine feminine, Pisces, or completion of a divorce. And the whistleblower, who's vulnerable, or child of a divorce, or rejected from the men's club here. spiritually outside the box, dancing to distract people from what's going on behind the scenes, or tainted leader here, perhaps this could be a tainted religious leader too, who gets aroused by children, or Taurus reversed, Pisces reversed, slow dancing here. Ten of Pentacles reversed with the Page of Cups reversed, that's not good either, or that could be a spoiled child of wealth, or rejected by their family or their partner's family here. With the recent past of the Eight of Pentacles upright, working with crystals and successful with reputation and good news to bring, perhaps lining the steps of the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, community, or legacy, but there could be dysfunction or loss there, bringing good news for clarity from the Knight of Swords reversed, who may be lashing out or holding back information, delivery, or an announcement, or stole someone's mail. I was getting a meal or veil as well, in a move or a visit, or destabilized, drained, sick, needing energy, or taken down by the kids, pets, or out of control egos and facing fears, or the enemy, or Aquarius upright, star, perhaps an arrogant one, or dreams and healing. The foundation of the Five of Pentacles reversed, of the hermit coming out of the Mary Magdalene cave in exile above the group. The Knight of Wands upright, darting out of the gate, going back, unable to implement their chosen path, as the King of Wands and the Empress are both reversed without options, since the Page of Cups reversed is out slow dancing. The central energy of the Star upright in a heated exchange in bed or 5D connection, perhaps draining or dreaming and healing. Aquarius, Five of Swords on guard as the other sleeps to keep them away from them. Rejected over and over, or delays in not telling when they're going on break, as the challenge being the Six of Wands reputation at work and deception or getting up before dawn to travel as death or ending, dark night if triggering, or the dark night is triggering. Libra, Scorpio, Pisces upright, and Taurus reversed times 2. Saggy, Aquarius, and Scorpio times 2 upright, with Leo reversed and Cancer reversed here. Or Scorpio pushing the Queen of Wands reversed buttons at work, and now is the Empress reversed calling the Hermit reversed to come out. Or wake-up call to or about the crazy one, or one losing their mind in release for peace of mind, keeping to themselves, recovering or coming out of exile, being strong or taming the beast, with the King of Cups reversed, and High Priestess upright, detached or depressed or drinks, and the Pisces or Virgo keeping to themselves and offering help to the Six of Cups reversed kids having a hard time, or healing and forgiving, apologizing when things don't go their way, to heal, shine, and implement a plan, or invest in freedom from the Queen of Swords reversed, or the need to complain, bitch, lie, or go silent, or control, or the Emperor upright, manipulating lover or insecure without tools to deal with a lover or Gemini, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, ending pain or pain in the butt, hanging out or good for nothing, quote unquote, so Gemini says. And soon here is the King of Wands reversed, having to work with the Queen of Wands reversed, and the King of Pentacles and Page of Wands upright, perhaps when they're socializing and not sharing with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, or having fun that's financially unfair or not equitable. With the Ten of Pentacles reversed, perhaps in money being spent down to every last cent or dime, and the energy of creating more debt with the Six of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and Four of Pentacles all reversed in a row. And the King of Cups is reversed with the Ten of Cups upright, maybe receiving 5D downloads from the Queen of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles, who are both reversed. What you doing over there? The Twin Flames, Nine of Swords reversed, may be coming out of hiding or from underground, one from above and one from below. Present to issues at work with the Page of Swords reversed, rumors or immature conversation or spying and lying, or a mouthy kid who's dissatisfied with themselves or coming off as arrogant, a sore loser, with the King of Swords over it, or telling the Page of Swords reversed to get over themselves. With the Nine of Swords reversed, ending the nightmare or lack of sleep, suffering in silence, perhaps the Page of Swords reversed has been lying, cheating, or stealing from the King of Swords upright, perhaps their father, or running away from a losing battle they can't win, with verbal King of Swords upright, who's very good with their words and no feelings. At 11:15, which is Justice and the Devil, as my little one over there is acting up, being heard, around the twins are how they're seen as the Eight of Wands reversed in a heated exchange, as the Devil waves, tempting to start over, offering lots they love, with one big unknown, and uncomfortable when all their ducks are not in a row. With Hierophant and lack of guidance reversed, and divorce, break without defense and in need of help, or the Page of Pentacles reversed, opportunist, which Teddy is right now, totally trying to get my attention, right? I'll be done soon, sweetheart. Just give me a minute. The Ten of Cups upright, happy family, as if it's a sham, unable to get something off the ground, or not a great situation, or not a great student here. Or with Taurus reversed in chart and spent, or constantly asking for money. With the Seven of Pentacles upright, the Divine Feminine's heart coming out or invested. The Emperor's insecure with affection for the Queen of Pentacles reversed, perhaps with back issues or massage or hanging out to see new perspectives. And be wise, receiving new passion and a wake-up call of inequity and not sharing about a move or a visit where the party's just over and pushed to their limit. With Atlas, Ten of Wands and one flame, leaving the Nine of Wands wounded warrior behind and the nightmare of withholding and or delayed for a fresh new start, playing hardball one-to-one with the Queen of Cups reversed and offering passion elsewhere. With the Six of Swords peace, away from having to dig for the truth with issues at work, the King of Swords upright and the Page of Pentacles reversed with the Knight of Wands upright and the Emperor, or the King of Swords lawyer for the All Boys Club, with the Emperor upright standing over or starting over and coming off the island and out of the Batcave, or the Emperor tossing in the towel and starting over like cavemen and investing in fixing up or something smaller or to make amends, a little something, at 11:32, or the Emperor's tossing the Divine Feminine a bone. The Knight of Cups reversed with Sham Fam stealing from the Queen of Pentacles reversed or the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, or legacy, recovering or coming out of exile, and the King of Wands reversed coming out of hiding underground in a heated exchange and working to align with dreams, challenged by reputation with the King of Wands reversed and divorce, or without guidance and lack, as there could be two Tauruses here investing and implementing a plan or fixing things in a wake-up call to imbalance of the home or overwhelmed. Perhaps Atlas working hard to leave the wounded warrior behind. With Seven of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, to Three of Pentacles, to the Page of Pentacles, to the Four of Pentacles, and needing help, challenged by reputation and divorce or alternative spirituality, the Ten of Cups and the Page of Pentacles reversed, working to get back in with the Empress reversed and dream, challenged by success, stress, and the King of Wands reversed in a negative exchange and no guidance, and investing in peace. With the Empress and the King of Wands both reversed without guidance or in a divorce, implementing a plan of investment in a wake-up call to the inequity of the Four of Wands reversed. An unstable home, a move or visit or house repairs that are needed, perhaps overwhelmed about the amount of work, with Atlas and Map of Intent, or peace away from a split, or the need for clarity or more information needing to co-create, with the King of Swords to help the Page of Pentacles reversed, and the Knight of Wands upright, and the Emperor to start over emotionally and financially and find their stability at 11:49 of Justice and someone getting their wish. So just a quick energy card and I have to go. And those extra cards actually ended here with, and that's the card of the Divine Masculine in the Batcave. So you see that. All right. 238 and 50, 49 and 50. What is our takeaway today? We have the number 3, blossoming abundance with the Empress, Mother Nature, the joy of coming together, and this is just the blessings of nature here. So much abundance here on earth. The underlying energy of the door to value, right? To know what you value, what's most important to you. The 31 is the group, that 5 of Wands. So to avoid conflicts with the groups and other people, right? To know that you are that abundant energy here every day. and to spend time in that energy here, right? When you're focused on all this money and stress and stuff, don't forget about Mother Nature and how beautiful it is, and it's readily made for you. You don't have to make it, it makes itself. Blossoming abundance, the Empress and this planet. Just be present in its energy. Remember to drink your water, get your rest, your joy, your nature, rise and be love, love and rise. I'll see you guys. Have an amazing day. I'll see you soon. Bye.